and welcome back to another episode of the AQA GCSE History Conflict and Tension between East and West of 1945 to 1972 revision series. This is episode 9 and we're looking at the Berlin Wall. Berlin played a key part in the Cold War. Berlin was divided into the free capitalist state of West Berlin and the communist East Berlin that had merged to be part of the USSR. The living conditions in the West compared to the East were very different. The superpowers had poured a lot of money into their section of Berlin. The West had much more of a progressive culture compared to the East. The standards of living in the East were much lower than in the West. Strong communist leader Walter Ulbricht ruled the communist East, and many despised his rule. The people of East Berlin were trapped. After the Hungarian uprising was crushed by Khrushchev, many people realized that it was practically impossible to overthrow the Soviet control. As a result of this, many East Berliners fled and travelled to West Berlin. Many who had left were skilled workers, and this had a massive economic impact on East Berlin. Overall, life under communism looked damaging compared to life under capitalism. In 1961, Khrushchev built the Berlin Wall to divide the East from the West. At first, the wall was just made from barbed wire. However, later it became thick concrete and was guarded by soldiers. These soldiers were ordered to shoot and kill anyone who attempted to cross the wall. Checkpoint Charlie was the name of the only place where you could cross over between East and West Berlin. Thousands of people were divided from their families and workplaces. The Berlin Wall almost led to armed conflict between the superpowers. After the wall was built, US diplomats and their soldiers continued to cross over into the East. However, in October of 1961, Soviet tanks blocked Checkpoint Charlie and refused to move. Next, the US tanks appeared, and there was a standoff between both sides for 18 hours. At this point, there was high risk that both tanks would fire, and you can see a picture of that just to the left. However, eventually each side retreated and no shots were fired. The Berlin Wall was demolished in 1989. So that's the end of episode 9 of the AQA GCSE History Conflict and Tension between East and West of 1945 to 1972 revision series. Next episode, we're looking at the Cuban Missile Crisis. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.